soon is it going to be before you're done? Because on several occasions, it's almost like you're alluding to, you only have but so many fights left. You're looking to walk away from the game.
Will Tank Davis make the necessary adjustments to defeat Lamont Roach in a rematch? Or is this a case of a fighter having another fighter's number? We can go back in the history of boxing.
This brother Lamont Roach can fight. And he's beautiful defensively as well. And seemed completely unfazed and undeterred by Tank Davis.
Stephen A. Smith urges Gervonta Davis to retire now, warning of the risks in a potential rematch with Lamont Roach. Despite Davis hinting at retirement before, he hasn't committed. Smith believes it's the right time, stressing the importance of protecting Davis's legacy and prioritizing his long-term health.
You only have but so many fights left. You're looking to walk away from the game. How close are you to that, being undefeated and unblemished with some big fights out there for you to get?
It's close, for sure. It just, I don't know, it's just a little draining, and I just want to step back for a little bit and just focus on me personally. You know, I feel like I've been doing this for some time now, and I just want to give myself a break and focus on just me as a human being, me as a father, me as a son, and things like that, and that nature.
Stephen A. Smith noted that Gervonta Davis is seeking a rematch with Lamont Roach to prove himself and silence critics after their first encounter. While Davis has other options before retiring, his decision to pursue this rematch shows his commitment to protecting his legacy. He's determined to erase any doubts from their previous bout and settle the score by stepping back into the ring with purpose and focus.
Gets in a fight like that, finds himself with a majority draw with people questioning whether or not he legitimately won. It's usually the promoters and the audience that's calling for a rematch. Gervonta Davis, who had been alluding to retirement, immediately said, let's do it again. Let's get it going. No problem at all. I give him credit for that. Because guess what? I wanted to see Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson. I wanted to see him against Vitaly Lomachenko. I wanted to see him against Ryan Garcia in a rematch. I wanted to see him against Teofimo Lopez. Ladies and gentlemen, none of them deserved the shot ahead of a rematch for Lamont Roach. None of them. And check out Lamont Roach's tweets. I don't know, he said, F you mean pushing my contract already signed and set for the immediate rematch because you put that in there just in case you lost. Only reason we don't fight is because you scared. Gervonta Davis comes back 2 hours later and say no more. I'm pushing for the rematch. This is what we love when it comes to boxing. This is what we love to see.
The buzz surrounding the upcoming rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach has ignited massive excitement among boxing fans worldwide. Possibly set for August, the bout is already one of the most anticipated events of the year. Their first clash left fans with lingering questions, and now the world is eager to see what unfolds when they meet again. Social media, sports shows, and fan communities are alive with predictions, debates, and passionate takes, turning this rematch into a must-see showdown that promises drama, intensity, and high-stakes action in the ring.
What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports, back again with another one. We got a date that Tank Davis and Lamont Roach will be fighting on. We don't have a venue, we don't have a location, but I do have a date. The fight is now being penciled in to take place on August 16th. So as we know, the original date was supposed to be July the 19th. I think the day before that, man, that's not even the original date. That's probably the second to the original date. I think the original date actually was supposed to be maybe in May. Then it got pushed back to, I don't know, man. Whatever the case is, man, this fight has been rumored to take place on 2 previous dates, but now it's being penciled in to take place on August 16th. It's going down in in the summer of 2025, Tank Davis will be looking to get the win over Lamont Roach. Unlike the first fight, which I thought he lost.
Stephen A. Smith, known for his blunt and sharp sports commentary, didn't hold back when reflecting on Lamont Roach's performance in the first fight. He praised Roach's focus and composure, highlighting the historic moment when Roach forced Gervonta "Tank" Davis to take a knee, something no one had done before. Smith emphasized how that moment shifted public perception, proving Roach's resilience and confidence. For a fighter many had counted out, stepping up and making such a bold statement against someone as feared as Davis was, in Smith's words, nothing short of remarkable.
What I didn't know is that once Lamont Roach stepped into the ring, he would be the bigger fighter. What I didn't know is that once he was in the ring and he looked like the bigger fighter, he fought like the bigger fighter, because ladies and gentlemen, from opening bell, he walked right to Gervonta Davis. Walked right to him and stayed in his face all night long. If he backed up at all, ladies and gentlemen, it was 5% of the time. The other 95% of the time, he walked right to Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis caught him with some good shots. He took it and then gave it back. Body punches, counter punches, left hook, straight right. This brother Lamont Roach can fight. And he's beautiful defensively as well. And seemed completely unfazed and undeterred by Tank Davis, a knockout artist.
Roy Jones Jr., one of boxing's most respected minds, shared his thoughts on Lamont Roach's evolution as a fighter. He emphasized that Roach never lacked talent, people just weren't paying attention. Having followed Roach for years, Jones said his performance against Gervonta Davis was simply a reminder of what he's always believed: Roach belongs among boxing's elite. He warned those calling Roach a fluke, pointing to his technical skills, timing, and fight IQ as top tier. According to Jones, Roach's showing against Tank only confirmed a truth long overlooked by many in the boxing world.
Great performance for the opponent. Tomorrow Tank will test his tank and see how good he is in the late round.
Presumably, Tank is supposed to, win this fight. This is a fight that there's not a lot of doubt about him coming out victorious in. So the talk shifts, and we got to know, Roy, from your perspective, Tank Shakur. When you think about that fight being a potential fight this year, how do you see it going?
I ain't gonna really think about that yet because I'm waiting after he finishes this fight with Roach. Roach is not just your average everyday opponent. Roach is the person who knows Tank, who's been around Tank his whole life. This is a different fight. You can't put Roach to the side like that. I'm sorry. Now, I'm not saying that he's gonna win the fight. I don't know that, but Roach cannot be this underrated like that. You gotta understand that Roach came from basically the same ecosystem as Tank came from. Roach is a very formidable opponent. So I'm not going to talk about none of that until we get to Roach, because what I'm telling you about the other stuff don't really mean that right now.
Okay, let me ask you this, because this didn't happen.
I'm feeling good always. How you doing?
I'm always here. You're a special fighter. Tank's
Yep.
a special fighter. What
Yep.
do you like about it? What
Yeah.
makes him different?
I like that when Tank come to fight, Tank come to knock you out. Tank don't come to just reach by decision. He come to take you out. He come to try to get the job done best way he can. And he loves to come there and entertain the fans. He's not there to play around. He's trying to smoke you. That's what life's supposed to be about.
Observers have noticed Gervonta Davis employing psychological tactics ahead of the rematch. From cryptic social media posts to subtle jabs in interviews, Tank seems to be playing mind games to gain a mental edge before the fight even begins. Fans and analysts believe these moves are designed to disrupt Lamont Roach's focus and chip away at his confidence.
It's signed and ready to go for the rematch, correct?
Y'all take place on these head games. It's not even funny. So let me tell you something. Lamont Roach has never been this big of a fighter before. Everyone knows Lamont Roach. So he could be reaping the benefits of just enjoying his status of having that draw with Tank, while Tank is the one with the eye of the tiger. Tank is probably in the gym training his ass off. And then sign the contract, like, all right, we got to fight when June. Oh shit, let's hurry up and dash your ass. Sugar Ray Leonard did that to Roberto Duran. Duran was told that he had a fight in a couple weeks, and he was like, dude, I'm 190 pounds in Panama. Which is why Roberto Duran was out of shape in the No Mas fight and was like, no mas. So Tank could be over there working, sign the contract in 3 weeks, and all of a sudden Lamont Roach got to put a training camp together.
In preparation for the rematch, Gervonta Davis has made a significant change by bringing in a new trainer, sparking speculation among fans. Many wonder if Tank is looking to reinvent his strategy or correct mistakes from the first fight. The new coach brings a fresh perspective and may focus on sharpening Davis's defense, timing and pacing, areas that drew criticism in their previous bout. This shift signals that Davis is approaching the rematch with serious intent, aiming to address key weaknesses and ensure he's fully prepared to counter the challenges Lamont Roach previously posed.
Yo, what's going on, fight fans? Check it out. It looks like Gervonta Davis has a new coach. Now, this is Coach Mustafa. He's a well-known coach down in the Atlanta area, and it looks like he's starting to train with him. I know he has that upcoming rematch coming up. It looks like it's slated for June. Now, this coach is known for his working on timing, precision, accuracy. Those are some of the things that this coach is well known for. He's also been training Kevin Farmer for his past 2 fights. Now, what does this mean for Tank? Is he leaving Coach Kyle and Coach Kenny, or is adding Coach Mustafa to the team? Is it smart to switch trainers so close to a fight? Let me know what y'all think down in the comments.
Coach Bernie didn't hold back when evaluating Gervonta Davis's performance. He criticized Tank for lacking the hunger and heart that Lamont Roach brought to the ring. According to Bernie, Davis looked like he was just trying to survive rather than dominate, while Roach fought each round like it could decide everything. Bernie stressed that a champion of Davis's stature should have delivered a defining performance, but instead, he left fans questioning whether the fire still burns inside him.
But he did good, Lamont Roach. But only thing, like I say, if he gonna go back and wish he threw his hands more, he might start getting mad at himself and realize that he when he watches the fight, it feels good to hear everybody say that. But when you go watch the fight and you realize, I let him slide too much. Like even the last round, he's standing there posing, looking at the man like, and then he got caught with a jab. That wasn't good.
So, you talked about the takeaways of how Lamont could be better in the rematch. And you're the second person that alluded to that. Tell me, what do you see in Lamont in the rematch that he could be more successful? And also Tank, he added Barry, into the lead position. I don't know if do you feel like if that had anything to do with the directioning of it? Because we did hear in the post press conference too, Tank saying that he could have pushed the gas more. He should have, he said. So what's your take on that?
Exactly. He's the champion. He got to defend his title. He like I said, they both was looking at each other. And then finally, after the look, Tank will be the one to throw the first punch. He felt like he wanted to retain his title. Lamont Roach felt like he was just happy to be there and get the success.
Lamont Roach is more driven than ever as he prepares for the rematch, believing the first fight left too many questions unanswered. With critics still doubting his abilities, Roach has made it clear he intends to leave no room for confusion this time. His training camp is set to be intense, focusing heavily on conditioning and tactical precision. Fully aware of what's at stake, Roach is determined to silence all doubt and rise above the controversy by delivering a clear, undeniable statement when he steps into the ring again.
I have to come with it all. I have to do more. Obviously, just to secure the win is doing just enough to get a draw. So I have to push harder. I have to train harder. I have to be more mean. I have to be more physical. I have to do a lot. I have to do everything just a little more. And I think that will definitely put me over the hump. And I'm more than motivated to get back in there, get back in the camp, and work hard so I can secure a victory over a pound-for-pound fighter, in which I believe that I am myself.
Rapper and avid boxing fan Sauce Walka has made his opinion clear. He believes Lamont Roach won the first fight. According to him, Roach's execution, movement, and ring control were far superior to Gervonta Davis's. Sauce Walka stated that real boxing enthusiasts, those who study the sport closely, could see Roach's dominance, even if the judges didn't. He views the upcoming rematch as Tank's chance to prove he still deserves the spotlight, because in his eyes, Roach already proved himself the better boxer that night.
Do you think that they should have counted that point against him? Do you think Lamont Roach won, or do you think it wasn't enough?
It could be considered a rightful draw, but I also lean towards that Lamont Roach won that fight. I believe he won the fight simply because he outclassed the champ. In boxing, you have to do two things to beat the champ. You either got to knock out the champ or completely outclass the champ. But you have to beat the champ. You're not going to just get the win because you survived or you put up a good fight. Bro lost that fight.
Facts.
Like when you really know boxing and know boxing for what it really is, Tank lost that fight. No matter how much people emotions and feelings are attached to it, because Tank is a hero of the hood. The ghetto loved the Tank. Gervonta Davis has been crowned king. My personal opinion, I don't think he should take the rematch, and I think he's already done what you just said. I think off of what he's already accomplished with the draw, he's already in a life-changing situation to where he could change every person around his life forever. He's now what's called a prize fighter, guaranteed. He's now what's also called a A-side fighter right now. But if he does what I like to call the Deontay Wilder and chase the legacy of getting the win, because you thinking from more of 100% on the boxing aspect and the business aspect, which Gervonta Davis has clearly showed everybody, the larger amount of his success is from the business module of the way he does boxing that was being gifted to him through Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions and PBC. But at the end of the day, so and what? That's what he's supposed to do. I'm not mad at Gervonta Davis for that.
Veteran trainer Jeff Mayweather offered a candid analysis of the first fight, surprising many with his honest assessment. As a longtime supporter of Gervonta Davis, Jeff was taken aback by how much Tank struggled. He noted that Lamont Roach appeared busier, throwing and landing more punches while keeping a steady pace. Although Davis had his moments, Jeff admitted that Roach likely edged the fight based on volume and ring control. His comments added weight to the ongoing debate over who truly won their initial matchup.
I think I might have ever seen. I don't know how that's not a knockdown. But anyway, thoughts on the overall fight first, Jeff?
I think that it was a good fight on both sides, and I do think that Roach actually won the fight. I thought he outworked Tank. Thought that he threw more punches than Tank. It seemed like Tank was fighting like he always do. It just seemed like he was just waiting for him to figure out whoever was in front of him like he always do, and then go to work. But this time when he went to work, the guy went to work back. So, I mean, he had somebody that was firing back at him. It's the same way.
I think the commentators and most of us at home thought, kind of the same thing. You thought Roach would bank some of those early rounds to prepare for the onslaught later. And when it didn't really happen, it was pretty even. We said, well, this is going to be a one-sided fight. But yeah, it never happened. And Roach, through the latter, the latter half of the fight actually seemed to do better than the first half.
I thought he did good pretty much all the way through the fight. I mean, there was a few rounds where he didn't do that well, but I mean, I thought he won the fight clearly. I mean, I didn't see Gervonta really the Gervonta that I know. I mean, I'm a big Gervonta fan, but I didn't see none of the Gervonta that I'm used to seeing.
Why do you think that is? Roach was pretty lightly, valued coming into the fight, moving up a weight class. It's not somebody that they expected to give him a huge challenge. What do you think it was that Roach presented to Tank that made it so difficult for him?
The one thing is that he fought at the right distance, and he let his hands go. And that's the most important part. That's how you win a fight, by letting your hands go. I mean, Gervonta was sitting back, waiting like he normally does, and then all of a sudden he finishes him. He always finishes opponents, but this time it didn't happen.
Stephen A. Smith, never shy about admitting when he's wrong, confessed he initially misjudged Lamont Roach. Doubting Roach because of his smaller frame, Smith assumed Tank would overpower him, but the fight told a different story. Roach fought like a man possessed, absorbing Davis's power shots and responding with even greater aggression. By the third round, Smith said it was clear Roach wasn't just holding his own. He was often dictating the fight, earning everyone's respect that night. Adding technical insight, Shakur Stevenson broke down Roach's strategy with the perspective of someone who sparred with him. Stevenson praised Roach's sharp game plan and standout defense, highlighting his timing and footwork, which neutralized much of Tank's speed and power. Stevenson believed this made the fight far closer than many expected, and was confident in Roach's ability to win. Together, Smith and Stevenson's observations shed light on why Roach's performance surprised many and shifted the narrative around the first fight.
You know, considering you were one of the handful of people to pick Lamont Roach, give him a tough fight. What do you
I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left, so he better be on his A game.
What does the rematch look like between Lamont and Gervonta?
I like Lamont in the rematch.
You were one of the few that kind of picked Lamont to begin with. Why was it?
I sparred with Lamont. I knew that he was a good fighter. He helped me get ready for the Oscar Valdez fight. And I knew his style, with Tank's style, what he was going to be able to bring to the table. I knew it. So.
Did you really win 20 bucks?
I swear to God, on my daughter's life, I won that much money.
How different does a rematch look in your opinion, Shakur? What adjustments do you think we see from both?
Huh?
What adjustments do we see from both in a rematch?
I think I can't tell you game plans. I could be fighting these guys, so I'm gonna keep my secrets to myself. But truthfully, they both good fighters.
Do you think it's a lot different rematch, or do you think it'll be close again?
It's gonna be a hell of a fight.
How did you see Tank in that fight? A lot of people are saying maybe he's just mentally not there. What did you see?
Nah, he was the same Tank. I don't believe that. I don't got no thought in my brain that makes me think that he wasn't the person he been all of these other fights. I think he was the same person. All this stuff that he gone through stuff. I mean, everybody go through stuff. So he's the same fighter. He's going to be the same fighter throughout his career. So.
Thanks for watching today's video. Stay tuned for more updates and analysis. See you next time.